What's going on, guys? It's your boy Brad down here in the RPO BMX Lab in Bethlehem, Pennsylvania with a frame review for you, with a frame sale for you from the shop. And I'm going to get into it. I figured since I had them set up for some of my photos on Instagram, might as well go over the frames with you anyway. I know I had some geometry in the past wrong. I may have a little off here, so don't forget to double check. I did weigh all of these myself using my trusty Taylor scale, which is on point with my 100-gram measurer. And secondly, I had someone ask me in the YouTube comments about a Versus Me brake cable adjuster and how to get these if you don't have Instagram or social media. Send me a message in the comments. Ask me what you're looking for. If I have it, I'll send you a number. Just send me a text. I take all different types of mobile payments, and I'll make sure you have that tracking number and whatnot, and I'll get it sent out to you. So any of the Versus Me products, like I said, if you can't get a hold of me on any other platform but this, just use this, and everyone has a cell phone, and you can use that number. So let's get into the frames here. Right now, we are running I'm running a $50 off every frame sale until this Sunday. $50 off, what does that mean? Well, I posted the inventory in my highlights section on Instagram a couple weeks ago. So what you would do is, you'd go to Instagram. My page is RPO BMX BTQ. The BTQ stands for boutique. Okay, you go there. You go to the home page. You go to the highlights. In the highlights, you'll see an inventory section that you can click to. And you click on the highlights, you see all the different parts till you get to the frames, and here they are. You can screenshot it or whatnot, but I'm going to give you the prices now. This is so you know, like, I didn't plan the $50 sale and stuff. This is only going on till Sunday. The prices are going to go back up, and they are still good prices, even regular. So I'm going to start off with the standard. Why? Because the standard's a tricky one. This is a combo standard build. If you order from standard these days, it's USA made, and also you can get custom geometry. This one is custom geometry. I think I talked about this on one of my standard builds a while ago. This is kind of a mix between a TRL and a Trail Boss. It has the brake mounts welded in up on the seat stays rather than the chain stays, and it also has, you know, the brake cable guide with the gyro tabs. One thing different, it has a taller standover than most standards at the time. This one's about 9¼ inches, and the back end is about exactly 13 inches, and you got some space in there with the dropouts, as you can see. And the thing weighs in, let's see, what did I have here? I have it at $400 right now, so $350 till Sunday. This thing weighs in at 4.3 pounds. That thing's light. I was going to do grams too, but ask Alexa what 4.3 pounds is, and she'll tell you in grams if you're on the metric system. Also, a lot of companies kind of cheat a little bit on the weight of the frame. So next here we have, also this is a 20.5 top tube on this standard. The next is the Colt Crew team frame, which I believe Jaime Cintes, and this is Callan Stubbard's signature sticker way, I guess. It doesn't have the sticker on it, but it's a pretty new frame. Thing about the Colt team frame, it has a much longer back end and shorter standover. If you're hitting a lot of those types of like big chinks and you need a lot of stability for transition, it does have brake mounts and no chain tensioners, but it is a very nice frame. And that one, these things are kind of heavy, guys, I'm not gonna lie. This thing weighed in at 5 pounds 5 ounces, and I believe if you look in the highlights it'll say 280, and right now you can get this frame for $230. This is a pre-owned frame, and I do know the guy. One person owned it prior, and you know, maybe he might have built it up, but I'm not sure if he even has more than 5 miles on it. All right, the next one, we're going in order from the small top tubes to the large top tubes. This is a Fit F-It frame from the Brian Foster Complete series. In 2015, they were all 20.75, so now we're up to 20.75. And this is basically a stock fit frame that powder coated Mystic Blue colorway, which is really cool. I threw on the Nico Bidet sticker set as he does ride for fit. And this one is listed for $205, I believe, so right now. And that's a mistake. I actually had it listed at $225, but my mistake is your benefit, and that puts this thing right now at $155 if you want to get it before Sunday. And it weighs in exactly as the Colt, 5.5 pounds. So Colt, you're getting an aftermarket frame for 5.5 pounds fit. You're getting a stock frame. It's the same weight, and I will venture to say same strength as well. The year on the Standard, I talked with Jess at Standard, it's somewhere between 2013 and 2017. The Colt is a 2022, I believe, or 2021. The Fit is a 2015. This is a new one for the shop. I took this apart as I haven't been riding it much. This is a 2020 Kink Crosscut 20.75. This is and was my favorite frame for a very long time, but as you guys know, I cannot ride very much, and I got this kind of when my riding was on the decline. It's a very responsive frame. I love the geometry. It has a short back end, 12.5 inches, I believe, 12.6, something like that. Has the Invest Cast yoke in the back, the cups for the bearings, 20.75 top tube, chain tensioners, tall head tube with gyro mounts. This frame, you never see this frame on sale. I'll tell you why, because it's so popular, because it meets a lot of today's style of riding, the majority of what today's style of street riding, this frame is perfect for. Anthony Perrin currently rides it. He rides for Kink now. He used to ride for Federal, and he rides for Primo and Kink, and he rides this frame, and if you ever check him out, he shreds on it. This is also the same frame that Casey Starling did his first street flip flare to backwards manual what do they call it? Backlash out. I don't know if you guys remember that, but that was like the craziest thing ever. He just broke himself trying over and over, and then they sent him this frame, and he'll tell you the story. You can find it on YouTube. And as soon as he got the crosscut frame the next day, he ended up landing it. So shout out to Casey, shout out to the crosscut frame, still in great condition, no dents, cracks in any of these. I would never sell a frame pre-owned that was damaged in any way, and if it was, I would make sure to highlight all of any type of damage. But these are all in very good shape, a few scratches maybe here and there. Next, moving on. Oh, and the crosscut right now weighs in at 4 pounds and 14 ounces, which isn't too heavy. It's lighter than the other guys, but still heavier than they say, I believe, online. And this get rid of this for $310. So with the $50 sale, you can get a Kink crosscut for $260, and it is in this coral, what is it called? Gloss coral colorway, and they do not have this colorway anymore, but definitely a sick frame. Definitely a sick frame. So, and a great price. Moving forward, we have a Fit Bike Co. sleeper frame from 2023. This is most likely the last batch of sleeper frames that were made by Fit. As Ethan Courier no longer rides for them, he's now riding for Colt, and they won't be making any more sleeper frames, sleeper bars, sleeper whatever for Ethan, but has nice decals on here. This one has a longer chain stay and a taller standover. As Ethan does a lot of backwards manuals, he's a taller rider, and just a great American-made Fit frame with all like the cool stuff that Fit or S&M like have with their bikes. There aren't chain tensioners, but I've taken the chain tensioners out of my bikes since I've been kind of just jibbing around doing like peg tricks and stuff, because I find that they will end up, because they're threaded, If you decide you want to tap your peg on something or hit your peg and you hit it too hard, it'll push those threads, and those threads will end up, because they're so small, getting wedged in there, and then you got to use a super micro Allen wrench to loosen or tighten it. So I think we have some room for advancement in the chain tensioner area in BMX. A lot of companies are just doing smaller laser cut dropouts, but we'll go over that then. And this guy weighed in at, what weighed this guy at? Uh-oh, we don't have a weight, but we do have the price. It weighed in, it's a 20.75 top tube. I had it for $400. You know, these frames retail at around $500 now. So you can pick up a sleeper frame. It is pre-owned, again, for $350 until this Sunday, 20.75, probably the most used size there is. And I'm just going to get an estimate of the weight. I did it a lot more particular before, but fits are usually a bit lighter. However, this one's coming in a little over 5, right around 5, so we'll see. I'm going to have to double check the fit sleeper, but good frame, good street frame, beefy. It's got that awesome fit gusset, top and bottom tube, down tube gussets, bottom bracket shells that I like, versus just the basic circular ones that have like an interior bottom bracket holder. The standard is cylindrical, and the fit one cylindrical. The We the People is cylindrical, and the rest all have cups shaping. These are like the little nuances that make a frame more expensive. Basically, all the companies that, you know, use similar companies to get their frames made, unless they're making them in US, and basically it's just a big book and they just pick out the different little details that they want. So moving forward, I'll talk a little bit about that here. I did make a mistake when I did my Pathfinder bike check. The standover is 9.666 inches. So that's Felix Prangenberg's signature. And if you want to know why the 666, I believe that is the number of the devil's number of some sort. So I'm not a big fan of the words "we the people" on a bike. I just think it looks kind of goofy, especially if you're not a rider and you're just wondering, like, why does this bike say "we the people" on it? And then, you know, you got someone with a federal. The cool thing about this bike that I think it is this: you can add it. It comes with a seat clamp. All of these have integrated seat clamps except for the standard. This one, the standard, and this one. The Pathfinder, that has the lifetime guarantee, has a super cool head tube, very long, very tall head tube with the engraving on it, the tall standover, the 13-inch back end, not too long, not too short, and they saved a little money. This is what I meant by the cylindrical bottom bracket that has the internal area. They didn't worry about the InvestCast yoke. That was all the rage a few years prior, because probably the strength is the same, whether you have the yoke or not. It's just kind of a nice little platform to collect dust for some people. For welded dropouts, some people do, some people do not. This has welded dropouts in the rear, and very nice frame, street frame. You know, Felix is riding it. That it's pretty nice, and it's a little heavy. It weighed in at 5.5 pounds, 5 ounces, which not too bad, but it is 5 pounds, 5 ounces nonetheless. And I have it at $295, I believe, in the inventory, and right now it is $245. Why do I have? Yeah, well, $245. So, okay. Next, I have an older frame. This is I believe it's a 2012 or 13 Fly Montana frame. Boom, you got the Fly. This is kind of a park style frame, park trails. It's Stefan Lanchner's signature frame, and it has a long back end. You can see those little micro dropouts that Fly uses. This frame is much lighter than the other frames. I lost my tags up here for it. It weighs in at 4 pounds 6 ounces, which the lightest so far is the standard, which is like 4.4, 4 pounds, 4 ounces. 4.4 is different. You're using tens when you have 4.4, but when you're using ounces, it's actually lighter. So 4.6 ounces is less than 4.6 pounds. So there's a lot of little tricks they'll use for that. But really like this style of frame. Probably wouldn't recommend street riding with it, with the dropouts the way they are. It has a Spanish bottom bracket included, and that I keep that in there just because Spanish bottom brackets are a little, sometimes they're hard to find. So I threw a brand new one in there. Really nice. All you have to do is slide your cranks on and you pick this guy up. I have this one at $250 online, and you can get it for $200. All these prices are up for, whatever, offers. However, trying to sell some frames, and as we all know, things are slow in the bike world right now, so I just want to keep things moving, trying to get more guys riding bikes. So here's a selection of frames. If you want to do it in possible payments, say you don't have 80 bucks, you have 80 bucks to your name at the moment, and you're getting paid weekly. A lot of people are living paycheck to paycheck. You can put, half down on one of the frames, set up like a layaway. I'm super cool with that, and then make a couple payments, which always makes life easier. You don't have to worry about me adding on any credit or percentages or on top. You just let me know how much time you need and what the payments are, and boom, we work it out, for payday. So good frames. If you have any questions about any of them specifically, I didn't get into too many details about all of them, but like I said, we start at 20.5 with dirt, frame, and then we also have park style all the way to 21 inches, and I believe I have a 20 inch. I have the 20 inch Benny Lewis frame that I built up, which also, and some of the new frames from my distributors I have the United Mickey Fleck the Silva Zuin frame, which in a 20.8 inch, that comes in a black chrome, and that's brand new from the distro. That is $50 off too, whatever the price says in the Instagram, as well as the Trey Jones frame that I have a video about, which is also on sale for $50 off until Sunday. And those are two of the new frames. The Trey Jones is the Colt one. I have a video on it. Other than that, I'm going to end this one quick, guys. I got a place to go. I hope you enjoy this one. I'm out for now. Bye, frame. For a buddy if you have to. Let's get a close-up look here. Standard comes in a real dark navy Colt black frame. That's a gloss black. This is the Mystic Blue powder coat. This is the gloss coral on the cross cut. We have the clear gloss raw for the fit sleeper. The trans purple on Felix's Pathfinder. And finally, gloss black, Stephen Lanchner's Fly Montana. Alright guys, hope you enjoyed this one. I'm out.